Okay, we are in the cornfield and we're gonna play a game called ChatGPT Roulette. I have told ChatGPT various interests that I have, and it also knows me from the conversations that I've had. And I've told it, when I tell you to play ChatGPT Roulette, you're gonna give me 10 ideas to talk about, and I have to pick one of them and talk about it for a few minutes. So let's play ChatGPT Roulette right now. Okay, here are 10 candidate topics for ChatGPT Roulette. The role of serendipity in life's journey, the navigating life's forks in the road, choices that shape us, the concept of time. Actually, I think I'm going to talk about that second one. Navigating life's forks in the road, choices that shape us. This is a subject that I think everyone can relate to. Forks in the road. So there was an author, I think David Frost, is that his name? He wrote a poem called The Road Not Taken. Let me just see if that's David Frost. Just give me a second here while I Google that. The Road Not Taken. There it is. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. That's it, Robert Frost. The Road Not Taken. Let's read it. I'll get it from Wikipedia. If I can. No, it's not showing up. So, the road not taken. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for the passing there, had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves, no step had trodden back. Oh, I marked the first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh somewhere ages and ages hence. Two roads diverged in the wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. So this is actually a subject that I think a lot about. I think of life as being a series of forks in the road. And actually, the way I think of this is it's like a big, in my mind's eye, I see a big cube, and my life is traveling through that cube, and the cube represents all possibilities, everything that could possibly happen. It exists in that cube. And my path through that cube is a series of decisions, of forks. And usually those decisions are binary, but sometimes decisions have more than two choices. But typically they are binary, this road or that road. And it leads us down a path. And we don't even think about this in our everyday lives, but our lives are constantly filled with decisions. And each time we make a decision, it's a fork in the road, and it takes us down a different path. And this reminds me a little bit of, when I think about this, it's associated with many worlds, the many worlds concept, that everything exists, all possibilities exist. And it's strange because we don't think of these simple decisions that we make. You know, you come to a fork in the road, literally when you're driving, you come to a fork in the road, and you can go this way or that way. Sometimes it's a familiar road, and you just decide, okay, today I'm going to take that road. Another day you say, no, I'm going to take that way. And so this is strange because these decisions do shape the path that we take in life. And I often go back and think, what if I had taken, I think of major decisions, and I wonder what would have happened if I had done this differently, or I know of some event that did not work out well in my life, and I think about if I could go back, I would take the other road. I would make a different decision. I feel like it's not good to beat ourselves up too much about our decisions, because when we make a bad decision, if we're smart, we learn from that. So the bad decisions in our past, they have shaped us. And where things have gone wrong, we should realize that we've learned from that. And I feel like people are sometimes too hard on themselves when they make a bad decision. But bad decisions are learning experiences, as are good decisions. I'm not sure if you would have grasped what I'm talking about when I think of this cube, and every possibility is in the cube, and we're traveling one path through it. And the experience that we have is just that one path. And that is our life's experience. But I feel there's actually a real possibility that everything does exist. And what we experience now is just that one path that we are taking. But I wonder if actually all paths exist. All of them exist. And that in some way, in the future or in another life or in another existence, we actually do get to travel many of these paths. Now, there's another concept that I've thought of, and that is, so if you think of traveling through this cube of all possibilities, there would be many, many paths, an infinite number of different paths that you could take. And I wonder if there are nodes in this cube. There are nodes, and the nodes represent places where all paths converge. And those would represent certain very important critical parts of our lives, critical events in our life. And the example I'm thinking of is a node would be something like your birth, or maybe your conception followed by your birth. But when a new person is created, is that a node? And all paths always lead to that node. They always go through that node. Because if there are no nodes, then it means this cube of existence, this cube of all events, actually has many paths that don't include me and don't include you. And I find that's troubling, because also there would be people that don't exist. There would be people that don't exist in this reality, along these other paths. So I think of the concept of nodes as being fixed places that all paths lead to and go through. And the two things that I think are nodes are your birth or your conception, whichever way you want to look at it. Anyways, the creation of a new person is a node. And the other event that would be like that might be, well, I guess it would include the birth of your own children as well. But also your death. Your death is a node. All paths lead to the same place in this cube, in my mind's eye, that includes all possibilities. The concept of the node is interesting, and yeah. So anyway, this is what, these are the kinds of thoughts that I have when I think of a fork in the road.